what we need to focus on, this is what I focus on. Truth. If it's true, if it's truth, I rock with it. If it's true, I rock with you. See, we got this thing in society now where we don't care if it's good, because we care about if it's real. So we like realness, but realness don't always equal goodness, right? So therefore, we don't have a system to where we really value good things or positive things. If it's popular, we say it's successful. Therefore, we say it's cultural, it's solid. You know, we love it. See, everybody mad that Kanye is one black man in America. He's not the issue with America. He's not the problem with America. Nah, that's not the problem. He's not the problem with hip-hop culture. He's not the problem with music. He's not the problem with none of these issues. So people are using him for whatever way that they can, and he's trying to use himself in whatever way that he can. You know, I believe that his greatest issue is not having the right people. You can't get off Kanye West because he is a great talking point to everything else that's happening in the world. You see, I thought the same thing. I said, wait a minute. Why y'all talking about his baby mama and all of this shit? Like, shit don't matter. I said, but it does matter. Then you say, Key, why does it matter? Because he has the family that he's talking about is the most influential family on social media. There's people who hate Ye, but they love the Kardashians. So what you have to understand that, yes, their family is a distraction, but the whole world is distracted. And so when a person is talking about the very things that the society and the culture says that is true, we talk about the occult issues, we talk about the Masonic rituals, we talk about the Illuminati, we talk about that being a devil entity and entertainment system. So when somebody says it, my ears perk up and listen, and like, oh, somebody out here giving away all their secrets. Somebody out here telling on these folks. Ain't nothing wrong with that. See, this algorithm has to be shaken up. The algorithm has to be shaken up because not enough people tell the truth. It may not be the best messenger, but the best messenger doesn't matter at this point because truth is illegal these days. Truth is illegal these days. The easiest way to get kicked off the platform today is go talk about something you believe is true. Go talk about something you believe is true. There are so many things that the world today believe, collectively, black people believe, that is true about the world. Behind the scenes, we say, oh, man, I actually agree with bro. Actually, I think he's right. But you would never say it. Why? It ain't because other black people go ostracize you. Nah, that's not what we're afraid of. We're afraid that those people, we're afraid that they are going to be the ones that punish us. The people that control things, the people that own and run the world. That's the most dangerous thing, is truth today. Sometimes the messengers of truth are ignorant. Sometimes they are bigots. Sometimes they are racist. Sometimes they are stupid. Sometimes they are black. Sometimes they white. Sometimes they orange. Sometimes they yellow. Sometimes they niggas. Sometimes they hoes. Sometimes they good men. Sometimes they prophets. But truth can come out of any mouth. So I've learned to dissect. All right, when a person lies, I don't want to hear it. But a person telling the truth, I'm all ears, because truth grows everything and it changes everything. Because we got a world that's built on falsehood. This world is built on falsehood. How can you ban a man that brought millions of black people together for the single purpose of changing the condition of our communities as a whole? That's the man that's banned. Not one single violent act coming from the Nation of Islam. Brothers ain't killing nobody. Brothers ain't harming nobody. They ain't hurting nobody. They not the ones out there pimping and tricking and putting out the terrible content and ignorance. But that's a hate organization. See, we allow everybody else to tell us what's good for us and who can be in front of us and who can say what to us. We don't want to have real conversations. We don't want to talk about the truth on public platforms because we know it does not come with a reward from this world. So we strategically try not to speak any truth. Everybody knows truth is the most hated thing from black lips. Everybody knows this. You go to the job, you know you can't talk to your white boss about the truth. You feel like you go, man, I get fired if I talk about what I really think. Even if you agree with somebody that the whole world is in disagreement with, you can't say it though. Because why? So, but that's a form of control, which is a form of slavery. So everybody's choosing to be slaves for rewards and trinkets of this world. Yet we want the world to change, but it can't change without all of the truths coming out. And how do you think all the truths gonna come out in this world? You think it's gonna be nice? You think it's gonna be beautiful? You think it's gonna be a good process? They call it the ugly truth because the world is not often ready for it. So either we want the world to remain exactly the same as it is, or we want all of the truths to come out. I think it makes the world better. I think dialogue makes the world better. I think dialogue makes the world better. You understand me? The matrix is built on lies. It can only be broken by truth. There's spells that are on the minds of the entertainers. We all know this. Instruments of God don't always come out beautiful. But when they can be used for truth, then we take it because we know that that's a weapon that we can utilize in this fight that we in. As a black man in America, there's no greater truth than that they hate me. I know they do. The frustration I get frustrated in this world, but I know that nobody cares. So I keep it to myself like every other black man. There's a truth that when we walk outside, we look at a world that was built by our ancestors, our patents, right? Our inventions, our labor, our death, and we can't do shit about it. What does that make you feel as a masculine man? You only okay with that once you effeminate it because you don't want power. So you say, well, those people said I can't say this, but in order for me to feel like a living man, I have to say whatever I want to. Because then it lets me know that I'm free. Man, listen, I don't know any more offensive people than the white man is offensive. Politicians are offensive. They get up there and they say what they want to. They don't care. Why? Because they're going to be backed up by the state of their culture. See, this is something I really want you all to get. And this, man, because nobody wants truth anymore. Everybody knows it is a public secret. That's what I call it. It's the public secret that any black man who speaks truth, who rises into positions of power, becomes a target. That's the public secret. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. What does that say about society, though? All right. So, do you know the difference between race and ethnicity? I know it sounds like a trivial question, right? I'm going to read this off to you. This gives me such a great realization, and I think that this is going to help a lot of people, right? See, race refers to the concept of dividing people based on the ethnic background, right? Oh, not the ethnic background, but their phenotype. Your phenotype is your features, the way you look, your physical characteristics. You understand me? So, based on the way you look, that makes you a race. Understand this very deeply. So people, you see a black person, they say, oh, that's a black man because he looks like a black man. He's deeply melanated. That's the melanated race, the dark melanated race. You have a lighter melanated race. Some people consider mulattoes to be their own race, right? Because they say they have a lighter region of melanin. So some people call them mixed. Some people call them mulattoes. Then you have Asians based on their features and characteristics. You understand me? Their eyes, right? Lips, nose. That's their race, right? Within the diaspora, right, of what we consider to be black, there are multiple races. So some people say there's only one race, the human race. But by the definition of race, there are multiple races, right? Because there are so many different people that have different phenotypes and features. Right? Y'all following me, all right? So ethnicity describes the culture of a people in the given geographic region, including their language, heritage, religion, and customs. So you could be of the same race of a people, but have a different ethnicity. You gotta understand what this means right now. You can be of the same race, but have a different ethnicity. So within the black race, right, the African race, the Negro race, there are different ethnicities. So you have to ask yourself, okay, you can be in the same family, but you can have different ethnicity. Why? Let me explain. If you have a different culture, right, of the people around you, so the different customs, different values, right, and y'all speak a different language, you got a different heritage, you have a different religion, they a different ethnic background. In America, there are different ethnicities that exist. In America, classism to me could be considered an ethnicity. Your class that you're in, because people subscribe themselves based on their position of wealth. People subscribe to, well, my culture is people that are rich. I speak the language of wealth and money and capitalism. My religion is money. My customs are involved in business. Those people have a different ethnic background. Their values are different, but they look like you. So you confused because you say, well, we all black, we all of the culture. But you didn't realize that we actually have different ethnicities. This is the most dangerous thing in the world because you have all of these people that are supposed to be of your race, so you're confused. See, now when we go look at other races, right? Asians, this is why Asians don't want to be confused with Japanese. They say we different race, different characteristics, right? Because they also have different ethnicities, different culture. They eat different religions, different geographical backgrounds. So their heritage is different, right? So, but the Asians, for the most part, have all the same ethnicity in America. When you're looking at the Chinese, their ethnicity is the same. Their language, their culture, all of these things are the same. Mexicans the same way, right? The Latinx, Mexicans, their culture, their ethnic background is pretty much the same. Usually have the same religion, they eat the same food, right? Most of the time they even have the same politics, right? Same customs, etc., etc. This is why they're able to thrive, because they're able to connect based on their ethnic connections, not racial connections, right? Same thing with white folks. White folks, there are different class levels of whites, right? But for the most part, we look at what we consider to be European, Caucasians, right, whites. These are all different ethnics as well. People who subscribe to being European consider themselves to be of a different ethnic background, right? People say that they white. They're saying that we are under, they prefer themselves to say that they white based on that they consider that to be a white race, right? This Aryan so-called race that's supposed to be connected to this thing. But they saying that the ethnic background is that they are in America of this culture of people in this geographical location that speak English, that are most part Christian, you understand me? And they believe in the customs of this land. So they are united by race and ethnicity. Now you have black people in America that see each other as the same race, but we have different ethnicities, right? We don't have a defined sense of culture to say who is with us and who's not, right? Our language that we speak, even though we speak English language, but we speak different versions of it, right? Based on context. Same thing with religion. For the most part, Negroes is Christian, some Muslims, some spiritual, some Hebrew, some Israelite, right? And those are our dividing factors. But all of those people are in different ethnicities. The Muslim, different ethnic background, then the Christian, then the Catholic, then the Hebrew, then the Israelite, then the Mason, right? So you're going to have different customs. So we as a people are not monolithic. We're not one way. So we get mad at people that we see as our race, but we mad that they don't interact and act in the same ethnic ways that we want them to. So when we talk about unity, we saying that we need all black people to unify because we talking about race, but we have different cultures and customs and different religions and beliefs. So therefore, we're going to be divided, saying that, wait a minute, I don't believe what you believe. You look like me, but we have a different ethnicity. So what you have to do is find people of your tribe and your ethnicity to build with. They speak your language. They have your heritage. They share customs, right? They share culture. So there's a nigger culture within our race that is based on ignorance, capitalism, death, and destruction. And those people will happily say, we don't want to change that. That's what we about. I've seen that. We reflect that. We live that. We got a nigger culture. Everybody knows that we have a nigger culture. It's based on complete ignorance. It's not based on enlightenment, education, morality. It's not based on goodness. It's not based on that whatsoever. Right? It's based on capitalism. It's not. Right? Culturally, an entrepreneur can create junk food and say, yo, the culture should look at me as a success story. But we can say, wait a minute, that food is bad for us. Right? So you want us to be ignorant of the fact that you are making things that are not good for us and then want to be celebrated within the culture? Because your ethnicity is not of mine. You don't believe in good as a measurement of successful ethnic background and culture. Right? So when a person does like an ethnic cleansing, they're killing people who have the same customs, religions, background, faiths, beliefs, and customs. Right? So what is that custom in that ethnic background? First, there's some things that you can attack that are across the board. Masculine black men. First of all, Muslims, the ethnic background. So in our race, we got black Muslims. They are the most attacked out of all groups. Because so first time you see somebody say, oh, you of this faith, of this belief, of this custom, of this heritage, black Muslims will be attacked first. So they ethnically, they go after us instantly. So we're going to have it the hardest. You don't want to give you no screen time. They don't want to give you representation. They don't want to give you a loan. They don't want to give you nothing that can be for the progress of your ethnic background. But you can be black and still benefit from, but it depends on what your ethnicity. So they do this test with you. They got to test you to see where are you from, who are you with, right? So are you of the nigger culture? Are you on this black Muslim time? Or you want to come in here and speak truth? Do you like our ethnicity more than your own? Like, are you one of the the Sambos? That's what they need to figure out. They don't want you coming there, no fearless, truth-speaking black men. We know that they have targeted every single last one in this cold country every single time. Every single time that has happened. That's just the reality. So if you are not of a certain ethnic background, you don't pose a threat. So they leave you alone and you get success. And so when we look at it and we say, well, there's some black people benefiting, there's some black people can do this. Yeah, they have a different ethnic background. They don't pose a threat. They don't like my ethnicity. They like their ethnicity. They black, but we not of the same ethnicity. And this is why we've been focused. That's why I say race is a distraction. They don't mind letting you in as long as you don't have that ethnic background of strength and power and knowledge of self. As long as you're ignorant of who you are, please come, man. Matter of fact, we'll give you $1 billion contract. We don't mind. You get it? See, they play the race game when it's about ethnicity. It's not about race. Race is a distraction. Our ethnic lives matter more. You understand me? The race is a distraction. See, of course, there's a racist systems, and right, but there's more about first. Right now, what's more important is ethnicity, because that's what they do. They test you. They say, okay, well, listen now, we want to hire black people, but not all. Just certain black people with certain ethnic backgrounds. This is what you're seeing today. This is what you're seeing, and they trick the world, and they ain't let you know that. So you think it was inclusion when they say, well, this is for black people, black women, black men. No, a certain group will never be allowed. The strongest of you will never be allowed. We don't want y'all in. We only want the safe ones that pose no threat. It's smart, isn't it? So therefore, you can have a cabinet of black people. You can have a black president. You can have black staff. You can have black friends. But they are not of the ethnicity of the people that you're talking to. So you talking to different people like, damn. You like, yeah, but is their customs the same? Is their religion and their language and their beliefs, and is that the same? So then you ask, well, why don't you have friends of my ethnic background? Oh, you don't believe in this one. You don't like this one. See, that's where the real hate comes at. That's what a real hate is. The greatest trick, man. They made you look left on the whole time while they cared about what was right over here. You get that?